So the Los Angeles Dodgers wrapped up their 10th National League West title in 11 years. Is this a big deal? Evan, I'll let you start.
So it's a big deal. I mean, 10 division titles in 11 years. Like, I wonder what the statistical probability of that, probably because you got five teams in a division, probably less than 1%, I would assume. So credit to that. Is it impressive? Hell no. No, it's not impressive based on what they've done. So a couple numbers first. So since 2010, the Giants, they've won three division titles. Guess how many World Series wins they have since then? Three. The Diamondback, yeah, they have three. The Diamondbacks have only ever had two division titles all time. Guess how much World Series they have won? One. So that's a pretty good success. Now I'm saying, who's the more successful franchise than all of them? I think you could make the case that the Giants have been a little more successful, but the other ones, Diamondbacks, Padres, Rockies, there's no question. I'm not saying the Dodgers haven't been more successful than they are. They are. But the thing is, the Dodgers, they got the farm system, which they manage great. Credit to that. And they have the major leagues. They go out and spend. Mookie Betts, come on in. All these guys, right? They'll go out and spend when they need to. But the problem is you need to produce a little more. They have one title in these 11 years. That was the COVID year, which I personally think in 10 years we'll look back on. Of course, we're not going to get rid of the title, but it's going to look pretty illegitimate. Let's just say that. I think it's only 3 years later, and we're already kind of feeling that a little bit. So you have that. You have a couple appearances, 2018, 2017, of making the World Series, but you didn't win. But yeah, that's embarrassing. You won the division, so you're in the divisional round at least to start each playoffs. And you've only have one World Series. Yeah, that's not something to celebrate. Not impressive at all. And they could still fix it. Of course, you had Don Mattingly, which Jake knows, he's familiar with, and then of course Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts is still there, so you could still turn it around. But so far, no, absolutely not impressive. And I think one more thing, I think Jordan's Braves could tell you that too, because they won 14 straight. And how many did they get out of that? I think it was only one. So
One World Series title in five tries. One World Series title in five tries.
but yeah, I'll turn it over to you then, Jordan. Is it impressive, or how do you feel?
So 10 out of 11 years. I feel like winning a division that many times in that many years is impressive. I will credit what Evan said. Ideally, you've got to have more titles, right? You're in the playoffs that many years in a row, and the Dodgers are not lacking for talent, to say the least. So I think it is impressive, but you've got to have more titles than what we have and than what they have. And I like that Evan mentioned the 2020 title, which we will probably look back on 10 years ago or 10 years later and think it's a little illegitimate. Jake?
Yeah, is it worth mentioning that the Dodgers won 10 in 11 years? Yeah, it is worth mentioning. Is it impressive though? Like Evan said, no, it's not. Because what do you have? One World Series title to show for it?
Right. You play
So,
to
I
win a
mean,
championship. You don't play to win division. So find me a player. So players have two goals. You want to either make bank or you want to win championships. I personally like the championship driven guys more, but you know what? Some people are in it to make bank, and all the credit to them. But nobody's in it like, yes, I'm going to win the National League West. Like, I don't think most people are saying that. Like, you celebrate it. It's an accomplishment, but impressive, especially given the Dodgers in their payroll. In baseball, you got to remember with the payroll too, that you can just dump whatever money. There's no salary cap. No, it's not impressive. Not at all.
Which,
yeah,
which by the
so
way,
anyway,
baseball,
getting back, hmm?
which,
What were you
which
saying,
by the
Jordan?
way, baseball needs a salary cap. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, some sort. I'm not going to agree or disagree with that. But Jake, what were you saying?
Yeah, yeah, I agree with Evan fully. I don't think it's impressive that they won. You gotta have more to show for it, and they don't. Really. I think if you're in the playoffs 10 of 11 years, I think you gotta at least have, five World Series titles. I think,
I'd
you
say
know,
three or four, maybe five. Yeah,
three or
five.
four. Yeah. I would think having more World Series titles to show for it would be more impressive than winning 10 out of 11 National League West titles.
Because you start
Uh,
at the divisional round, like I said. So that's eight teams. So one of eight, and you're doing that 10 out of 11 years. Yeah, you'd think you'd at least have a couple. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I like what Evan said with the amount of World Series appearances the Dodgers have, which is 3 in that time frame, right? And he mentioned that we started the division series where you're basically one of 8, and we know the Dodgers, like I said, have never lost their talent during that span, and I feel like they've got to have more World Series appearances in that time frame. It didn't, like I said, it's impressive that they've won 10 out of 11, but to me, you got to have more World Series appearances than that.
And last thing on this from me is also because the choker reputation. I mean, what they used to say, choke Shaw, Clayton Kershaw, right? They used to, so not only are you not winning, you're known as chokers. So no, yeah, not impressive. I will stand by that. The Dodgers are a great team. They're better than everyone in the NL West, although you can make the case for the Giants with 3 World Series wins, but no, not impressive at all.